Hello for episode 3 of the Boston Tea Party. And, you know what we need to do? We need to do the thing with the graphics.
3G does it.
The graphics this time accompanied by a little chuckle from Phil, which we don't normally have. We're very privileged on this occasion to have had that little extra soundbite. Right. Okay, when last seen, you were being interrogated by Madame Two Swords in an office in Boston that had just rotated to reveal a Costa factory, a gigantic, like humongous Costa factory. And then there was a phone call, if I remember rightly. That was the last session, wasn't it?
Yep.
You know what, I'm actually going to move my camera over this side so that I can look at you and see. So there we go. Now you're not going to get a side view all night. Right. Okay. Did I prepare anything for this session? Right. So, this is played with Corporation, and Corporation RPG. It has character sheets and everything. Look a bit like that. Yeah, there you go. Right, there we go. So, for anyone who ever views that video, that's what we're playing. Although you'd think by now in the third session you'd have figured that out. So, Madame Two Swords stands before you in her Elizabethan, or Elizabeth I costume with far too much makeup, and she's just put the phone down on. Now, just got to remember between sessions, had it been revealed who had called?
No.
Okay, but it had been revealed what the subject of the call was, wasn't it? Yes. Some explicit tapes, or was that not mentioned? Was it just there's some videotapes that you must see, wasn't it? That's it. Okay, I remember now. I remember. Just that it's been a couple of weeks because somebody flew off to another country. Phil.
And also, I'd apparently been naughty, so there was insinuation of, sexual deviances.
Yes. Right. So it seems you're worth keeping around after all. I at least want to view these holo vids before I overdose you on caffeine. Mr. Pitch, keep them sedated, would you? I shall retire to my lounge for now. And she walks out of the room, walking past you as she does so, and Mr. Pitch comes forward the moment she closes the door behind her as she leaves the room. He walks past you from behind, and you see him from behind in his pristine white suit, and as he comes past you can see his face is heavily scarred. He's carrying a case, a big thick case, and once he gets past you he puts that case down on the desk and he flips one of the locks, and then flips the other, and slowly lifts the case open. And then he pulls out a violin and the bow. He turns around to face you, and for the first time you get to see his face since the attack. It is now heavily scarred and warped, and his mouth looks like it can't even open anymore. He brings the violin to his chin, does a few little practice strokes across the fretboard. I don't know, I only play guitar, I don't know what that bit's called.
Fingerboard.
Fingerboard. That sound absolutely appalling, as anybody who's ever played violin knows. You have to be a master of the violin to make it sound beautiful, and until you are a master, it sounds like pain in musical form. And after that brief preparation, he goes to start playing a piece. It's horrible! He's not a maestro! But as he plays, your mind wanders back to the time when you very first tried to get a customer. The very first cafe to stock Dashwood's export. You had headed out with one of your cases of tea to the top of the spire to check out the eateries and dining rooms. You arrived at the top of the spire having taken the lift to the 8,654th floor. The highest sort of cafe district, if you like, that you could find in the tower, figuring only at the very top of the spire is it worth selling Dashwoods. And there you emerge out of the lift onto the bustling concourse of the most exquisite and expensive avenue in this spire. This avenue is the real trees, there's genuine roads, there's the floors of the spire at this point are probably 4 times higher than a normal room. So, you know, a normal shopping centre. So, you know, it's very spacious. The shops look pristine and amazing, well beyond the marina district that your little shop is in. And before you, you see all of the umbrellas for all the eateries for the outside dining. They call it outside dining even though you're within a spire. And this place is huge enough to feel like it has its own atmosphere, even though it does not.
I will be on my small calculator, calculating some, because I know that the boiling point of water is actually lower at higher altitudes. I'm going to be recalculating how long we should be boiling water to make the perfect cup of Dashwood's tea, so that the person that we sell it to knows the exact amount of time they should be boiling water at this height.
Having done your calculations, you then realise that the spire is pressurised. You see before you a number of what look like street cafes, the kind of thing you'd find walking down the high street in any town in Spain or a Balearic island, or an Italian high street. None of these are quite posh enough, but then at the end of this concourse you see what appears to be probably a hotel, as there's a doorman outside. The doorman is wearing white gloves and a uniform. Possible place that you might consider selling Dashwoods. There's a big information sign up showing other locations of places where you can buy things, and you notice that there's quite a few potential coffee shops in this area. There's a number of eateries, but there are a couple of independent cafes, as it were.
Yes, there's where we should strike.
Might be worth going to check them out to see if they're suitably upper class.
I like the sound of those.
Okay, ignoring the hotel, you head for one of the independent cafes. And you get to one, and it is at the outside of the restaurant is a footman dressed in like a red uniform and a big hat. Again, you know, gloves and everything else you would expect. Highly polished shoes. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to Montague's.
Thank you very much.
A table for 3?
I think 3 would suffice for now.
Very well. And he leads you through the door, having opened it for you, and hands you over to a waiter. Hello, my name's Shandy, and I'll be your personal waiter today. Before you is a woman dressed, again, in a uniform, although it's a very different uniform, being that she's front of house staff now, you know, wait staff, and so, you know, black outfit with the blouse underneath with all the white frills and so forth. And she leads you to your table. Would you like the coffee menu or the cake menu? We have all of the brands of coffee.
We would like to see the tea menu.
Tea.
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 I
Leaves.
see,
Little bits of
and,
leaves.
What is tea?
Well, I'm very pleased that you asked. Lord, would you like to explain to her the pleasure of tea making?
Tea making?
Yes, come, have a seat.
I'm wait staff. I'm terribly sorry. I shouldn't be seating at the table.
I place a chair and say, do sit.
This will be more than worth your while.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm actually not allowed to sit with the customers. It's
Oh, you're
a
frozen
house
there.
rule.
Yeah.
I froze, did I?
Becky's still frozen to me.
Oh. What if I move around?
You're right now.
You're back.
I'm back. I'm back. Woo! I'm back. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, but as wait staff, I'm not allowed to sit with the customers. I'm so sorry.
But we
not
are not strictly
customers.
customers. Come, have a seat.
I'm on commission. Are you spending money or not?
How would
We're
you
gonna-
like to increase your commission substantially?
We'll make you money.
Yeah, gosh, you're not agents, are you?
Oh, we're more than that, dear.
We're
Play
British.
your cards right, we could be your benefactors. Come,
Yes.
sit.
That's what the salesman for the mortar company said.
Mortars, very brash.
We're going to introduce you to the most sophisticated experience of your life.
That's great, but I'm a waitress.
Yes, come, sit.
If I sit, I'm fired?
But
No, if
we-
you
we-
sit, you will be able to tell your bosses, as a layperson, the wonderful, beautiful, exquisite experience that you have had drinking Dashwood's tea, and how your company, your cafe, would increase its revenue many times over by selling Dashwood's tea here. But we're giving you the chance, you lucky girl, to get in on the ground floor.
Excuse me, sirs, says a man coming over to you in a suit and stuff and a little name badge, and you notice it says manager. Shandy, you're fired. Here's your exit interview papers. There is a lethal injection in there if you so wish. I'm terribly sorry about the delay in service. You should have had drinks on your
Excuse
table
me,
by now,
excuse-
but she is new. Out of here, Shandy. Right. I am the manager of this establishment. How can I help you? What would you like to drink?
We
I would like to drink a tall glass of unfiring her, please.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with the drink.
I look over the other two.
Well, she was doing exactly what we required, which is what we expect in an upper class establishment like this.
Exactly. In fact, I would like a small glass of unfiring, please.
And we were just explaining to her that we would love 3 Dashwood teas.
Dashwood teas.
Correct. So she was.
Heard of that. I'm afraid we don't stock that here in this continent.
I'll tell you what. If you get her some hot water and 4 cups, it'll be an experience of your lifetime.
You're offering to make Dashwoods.
Well, you just said you'd observe it.
You are missing out. It's booming in Britain.
Well, it would be. It's Britain.
And all around the world.
Britain, India, China, Japan, everywhere but here drinks tea.
I see. You sound like sales reps. Are you here to actually buy anything at all?
Yes, we would like to have a look at your cake menu whilst you're enjoying our tea.
And some hot
Cake
water.
menu. And hot.
Because
Very well.
because nothing goes quite so well with a good cup of Dashwood's tea than an exquisite cake.
As long
We
as
would
the
like
cake
to
is
see-
macaroons.
I'm sorry,
like-
did neither of you watch the instructional video I posted on how Dashwood should be served? You
I
should
know.
know by now. That is a paper
yes,
wrap
two-
digestive.
A digestive.
A digestive.
Gosh.
I go to the Wurzel Gummidge School of Tea. Cup of tea and a slice of cake.
I'm terribly sorry, but we don't take solicitations for business here. If you would kindly get out of our establishment, that would be to the benefit of all.
How many customers do they actually have in, counting us?
You do see a few people in. Most noticeably, though, the one that just catches your eye as you look around the room is a man dressed in a bright green suit with a bright green trilby. And by bright, I'm saying kind of looks like it's bioluminescent stuff. It's audaciously, gaudily green, just beyond green. And it's a man that's about sort of 45, 50 years old. Has a kind of a North African appearance to him, very bushy eyebrows, and he's staring at you, and as you go to look around the room you just sort of can't help but just make and keep eye contact because he's just glaring at you.
Well, we'd like to purchase things in your restaurant. We'd like to have some hot water, please, and some cups, and a look at the your menu.
Yes.
And
And
I'll nudge one of the other two.
You should be aware that this restaurant is under the protection of a local Western Federation agents division, and if you continue to dither before leaving the premises, I will call them on the panic button and bring them here.
Well, there's no need to take it personally.
I will not have
No,
tea
That's
sold
right.
on my
a
premises.
little bit of overreaction.
God, I mean, really, I mean, we're going to help you get money and turn this quaint but rather lovely rather lovely cafe into the booming heart of this spire, and yet you want to evict us with violence. It's just not cricket, sir.
It certainly is not.
Or baseball, or whatever it is they play.
Oh, you mean rounders?
Yeah, just a bloody good excuse for rounders.
The man that is staring at you from the table a few tables over, he develops a wry smile at your sort of insults to Americans, and he gets out a wad of cash, throws it down on the table, and gets out and starts heading out towards the door. But as he passes your table, he puts a business or slides a business card onto the surface and keeps on walking out the door.
Have a gander at it.
It just says, "The man from Cairo imports, exports and a phone number.
Cairo. They like their tea in Cairo. It's existed since the colonial era. Well, if you don't want us even sampling your delicious menu, then I suppose we should take our business elsewhere, wouldn't you say, gentlemen?
Yes.
I think we will. And there'll be some very poor reviews being left.
If you leave a poor review,
yes, that's absolutely.
I will send around the UIG. You can't interfere with an independent trader's business. Leaving bad reviews is bad for business. Everybody knows that. You just can't interfere with an independent. Not with the statutes we have on the books in Boston.
Oh, we're not going to give you a bad review at all.
As I said, very defensive.
In fact, we're going to do quite the opposite of a bad review. We're going to give you such a fantastic review that you, with no staff, because you fired that poor waitress for no reason, are going to be so completely overrun that the people who come in expecting wonderful service are going to end up giving you bad reviews. They'll do the bad reviewing for us.
Not in Boston, they won't.
Oh, you underestimate our ability, sir. Shall we, gentlemen?
I think so. I sort of do that twirl of the trench coat really over the top, almost kind of hitting the manager in the face a little bit as I put it on.
Obviously not the quality establishment we were looking for.
No.
Clearly not, no.
As you head out of the door, you see 4 heavily armed, what are clearly just obvious stereotypes of Western Federation agents. They've got the camouflage suits, the works, there tons of guns on them. They walk in behind as just after you leave.
Well, they're looking for tea. They're not going to get it in there.
No.
One of them's holding a big mug of Costa coffee.
Go back.
Oh, hold on.
Back.
There you go.
No, back.
Yay! The streams seems to have... I'm just checking it because it's doing weird things. Okay. Alright. Let's just hope it works. We've got a couple of viewers. If one of you could, like, say hi, just it's working or not, that would be awesome. Anyway, right. Video. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Yes, the internet is kaput tonight. Thank you very much, Virgin Media. So thank you also, for such great reliable service. Also, thank you to Fletcher's Electricals that recently sold a fraudulent USB drive to me. Arseholes. So avoid them too. Right. Sorry, where was I?
We were talking about poor reviews.
It's all gone green again now. Right, so you leave the place that's just won't take tea and or slow service or indeed salespeople.
They're doing themselves out of a wonderful trade of tea.
Gentlemen, I must ask a pertinent question at this juncture. Given the upset of the proprietor of that establishment, and given the fact that 4 heavily armed men that he was threatening to put our way have just walked into his establishment, what do you think the chances of us reaching the lift are without engaging in firefight?
I think if we walk there now, then it'll be less of a chance.
Yes,
but unfortunately, we're not going to
of
have our tea.
Well, we want to try and avoid a firefight if we have our tea with us. We don't want to damage the tea.
It is almost like they are extremely careful of making sure that the name of Costa is not tainted in any way, even with using brute force. It's almost like Costa has become their religion, which was strange because I always thought that they were evangelists.
Yes.
I always thought that there was some sort of amendment, the separation of mug and state. Unfortunately, not with Trump in the White House. Oh, politics for a Wednesday night.
Actually, babe, can I ask out of character?
Mm.
With this flashback, how, like, where does this fall between?
In the timeline, before your shop exploded.
Yeah, well, of course, but I wondered if it, how far back it was.
It'll be at some point when you're not too long arrived, because... Oh, bear with me. Sorry, I'm being messaged by players. Oh no, messaged by somebody else. We've just been offered a cat. Right, sorry. So it'll be some point not long after you've arrived in Boston, before you or tried to open the shop when you got hijinks, and when you're still trying to flog the tea you came with. I didn't feel it necessary to actually sort of build a timeline and put it specifically in a place, though.
Oh, no, that's okay. So, I take a look at this business card.
The man from Cairo, imports and exports, and a phone number.
So there's no address or anything like that?
No.
Well, he did seem to be a man clothed in the finest green. Sorry, I couldn't resist the Lord Percy line. I tried.
How about this? Rather than meeting him at his establishment, which sounds like a warehouse, quite secluded, not many passers-by, why don't we arrange to meet him somewhere public where we can do some tea making with lots of people potentially noticing?
Yes, make a big thing of it.
Yes.
Get the white tablecloth and the doilies out and digestives.
Public park?
Yes, the park, but one of the places I was thinking was potentially that hotel, depending on how classy it is. If they've got some kind of club room.
Ooh. Yes, indeed.
If we could hire it out for the day.
Let's go check the hotel.
You head to the hotel. As you do so, it becomes fairly clear to you fairly quickly that a certain Western Federation agent, at least one, is kind of tailing you from a distance.
Yep. Okay.
You approach the hotel.
I have a small change in our stratagem, gentlemen. At our best convenience, we find a way to put our tea in a safe place, and then we may not be able to. We may have to preempt the firefight. Get the drop on them, as they say in these parts.
I want to also, as you're saying, presumably you're sort of doing it at a fairly low whisper, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, as you say that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my Smeeker on a fairly wide frequency and say a completely different strategy. So something like, okay, let's hang out here for a while, make it to the lift or something like that, in order for him to pick it up and hear it.
Right. Are you still heading for the hotel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you walk up the concourse to the hotel, and the doorman outside Good afternoon, sirs. The door is.
Thank you very much, my good man.
You walk in. To the left is a foyer area, seating, comfortable type stuff. There's a lady there in clearly work-related attire with a tray of canapes. She's handing it around to various people sat in the foyer. To your right is the main reception desk. Ahead of you are some lifts and some big doors which apparently lead off to a corridor, assumedly rooms down there or something.
Reception, I suppose. We'll see if they've got a meeting room or a conference room we can hire.
Welcome to Hammergaze. A meeting room or conference room? Certainly. How many people does it need to take, and what services would you be requiring?
It's not going to be many people, but we want a reasonably medium-sized room, and it needs to be comfortable.
Sorry, when you say medium size?
Well, what size have you got?
100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people.
Let's go for 100 people, if that's your smallest.
Well, no. I was trying to get an idea of where we're at.
No, I mean,
So-
probably just a small meeting room then, just sort of maybe 50 people, perhaps.
Yes, okay. Certainly, if you could just scan your chip ID, please, into the reader.
Sure.
Beep. I see. That'll be perfectly fine. I'll take you to the room.
Thank you.
And she leads you through the doors, through the corridor, down a short flight of steps, around a corner, and to a room. How long will you be taking the room for?
A couple of hours, I would say.
Okay.
What time is it at the moment?
We're not necessarily taking it today, though. We just want to look at it today, and we'll have to arrange the actual day for it. Because we have to invite the other people.
Just please be aware that you are currently being billed. I'm taking you to the room to look at it, so you are being billed.
Yeah.
Okay. And she shows you the room. It's nicely appointed. If you would like drinks or food or any other proviso, power, any additional furniture, if you would like to hire either male or female models, or any additional services that the hotel can provide, please let us know. We do have some amazing acrobats and gymnasts.
We will be requiring some small tables set out in a dining style formation. We will be expecting some finger food and cakes and biscuits. We will be expecting a small waiting staff of some half dozen.
Right.
As opposed to height.
Okay. And so you arrange a load of stuff. We'll skip over the details, but basically it sounds like you're going a little bit overboard in your usual fashion. So you presumably at some point are going to make the call.
Yes.
Indeed.
Will you still be in the hotel when you make the call?
Well, I think we need somewhere quiet we can do it from.
I would prefer, if we're going to do it from the hotel, to try and hack through to try and get to a much more sort of private line, as it were, one that won't be picked up if that's at all possible.
Well, you have your phones. there's, you know, once something goes onto the phone network, it's vulnerable on the network. The only real way to do secure communications ultimately is to be face to face with someone and have swept the room. You're done.
Well, we just need to set. We just need to set up a meeting with them, don't we?
Yeah.
So we're not going to exchange any confidential information over the phone. We just need to set up a meeting and arrange a date.
Yeah, perhaps we could put some kind of cryptic phrase in, followed by the name of the hotel.
Okay, who's making the call?
I believe you should handle that, my good man. You feel that you can, yes. You feel that you can...
Okay, then I will make the call, but we need to finalise this phrase.
Need to find what, sorry?
This phrase I suggested. Rather than saying, "Oh hi, we want you to come and sample our tea at this hotel."
Okay.
So something more
What did you
cryptic.
say? We picked up your business card you left us, and we'd like to meet you at. Don't mention the tea. Well, he obviously knows about the tea.
Or we could just do it like that. Okay then.
Right. Okay, so just a brief aside. You guys don't have to make a mountain out of a molehill. Wow. Okay, you make the call. Hello, I'm the man from Cairo.
Thankfully,
There's the Western Fed guy looming around.
Thankfully, I only got half of that admonishment. That entire admonishment went in broken chunks.
And
I only heard half of it.
you say that, babe, but you've made some mountains out of molehills in my games. It's hilarious.
I'm the man from Cairo. Who is this?
These are potential clients of yours. We have become very interested in your wares, and we would like you to meet us to sample our wares.
Who is this?
My name is Xerxes Polynices.
Never heard of you.
I deal in Dashwood.
Ah, Dashwoods. Excellent. I'll, how many crates have you got?
How many have we got again? Is it 4?
Yes.
3.
3 and one's damaged.
I thought it was 4 and 1's damaged.
Oh, maybe it is. Should be on your, you've got the division.
No,
SSC,
it was,
but-
I think
it was 4. It was 4. One of them was
one's damaged.
damaged with
Okay, we've got
the
3
blood of our enemies.
So we
in a
have
new
3.
flavour and a new special flavour.
We have 3 in our new special flavour.
Excellent. What price?
I look to the others again.
Yeah. What's the
Just
current
either,
bulk?
I haven't actually assigned a value to it, so just either, 'cause there is one, just either say going rate or 90% or 110% if you want to charge him more or something.
Do we go for it and go for 110%? I think we should. In fact, let's say 100%, but as a special bonus, we were going to hold 1 crate back for personal use, but as a special bonus, we will give you 4 for 3. And we can get our 4th crate off our hands.
It's worth the risk. I relay that deal to him.
So, I'm buying in bulk, and you're going to charge me retail price. Is that correct?
Yes, however, one of them can be for your own personal use. Think of it as a gift.
So I'm being charged 75%, and because I get a free crate. But you're charging me for
Yes.
3 crates and giving me 4.
Yes.
Yes.
That's correct.
I gotta get you down to 60. And I will sign a contract for 10 more crates a month.
Can I just check about that? I'm assuming that the change in accent is unintentional.
Yeah, I suck at accents.
Okay, cool. I sort of give a slow nod to the others.
70. See if we can go to 7.
Or even 65.
How about 70?
68, and you have a deal.
68.
Excellent. I'll transmit the contract to you now and expect it signed with your chips immediately. Beep. And through on your phone comes the contract for you to do the chip scan and send it back.
Do so.
Hey.
Excellent. If you can deliver them all to my offices in Cairo. And a pleasure doing business with you.
But he's not even in fucking Cairo.
And the address comes up, and it is an address in Cairo.
It's not a district of this city by any chance, is it?
No, it's in Cairo.
Okay.
Bugger.
Perhaps we could get them transported there remotely. But then I don't know who to trust with these crates.
Could we just call back to the UK, say, and get them to ship 3 crates directly to him? And we can still sell these 3.
Yes, why not?
Yeah.
We'll take it off our hands.
Okay. And we flash forward in time to when you're being debriefed by...
Lord Wellington Smythe.
Yes, Harrington Smythe. Yes, thank you. There you are at number 1 Mayfair, and the old man is at his desk. And you're just sat around the desk, and you know, and there is going over the mission documents. I see, and what was it I said to you when you went out?
Take an umbrella.
No.
Do
No,
whatever
it
you want.
bloody wasn't. I said do whatever the hell you like as long as it stays within America. And you gone and sold to Cairo. To bloody Cairo.
If you hear us out.
With respect, sir, we didn't actually undermine your directive. Whilst the product RT is going to Cairo, the deal was actually done in America. So indeed, we did do everything we did in
And
America.
more to the point, the person we sold this to was there in America.
Yes. That's our Egyptian distributor that we were previously selling to for 75 bloody %.
Well, no wonder he liked the idea of us so much.
Oh, sorry.
I just said, no wonder he likes the idea of Dashwood so much.
Yes. He knows it's a quality product already.
Look, sir, this epidemic of Costa coffee is worse than I previously thought. These Yanks don't want to drink tea, but even more than that, they refuse. If their name of Costa is tarnished in any way, they will stamp people out.
Well, it hardly matters now, does it, since the escape? I mean, what happened to that factory? But what I'm interested to know is how that mind control worked, and your mind wanders back to during the escape. Oh, carry on.
I was going to say, where are you flashing back to the violin?
Yes. So we flashed forward.
Okay.
We flashed forward a long way.
Can I make a little subtle suggestion?
Yeah.
Say Harrington Smythe. There's music in the background playing. I know Brahms's second violin sonata, and then it goes back to Mr. Pitch playing it terribly.
Could do. It said I wasn't going to go there.
Well, I just asked you.
You did?
I just asked you if you're going back to the violin scene. You said yes, but never mind.
No, I'm going back, but not that far. No, it's
okay.
Your mind casts back to the escape. There are explosions going off behind you, and you're trying to get out of Costa head office. You are being chased by a number of Costa agents. And as you tear through the administrative block, you see a familiar looking jiffy bag. Piles of them, all stacked up, being unwrapped and processed through some machinery. And on the side of the machinery it says, "Taste Injector." And these little pots are being pulled out with their yellow liquid and put into the taste injector. And out the other end comes brown... No, let's not make them brown yet. Let's make them green granules. And they're then being put into crates, and it depends. Are you going to stop and spend some time looking at where the crates that are coming out of the taste injector are being sent, given that you're being chased?
How close behind us are they? All right.
I have a feeling, gentlemen, that haste is the better part of valor.
Yes.
However, I wouldn't mind turning back for a moment and possibly sending a shockwave just so it buys us a bit of time.
Let's do it! Do it now!
Okay, so as you're tearing through the block, at the other end of this sort of long open plan office thing is a door through which are coming several Costa agents. You're kind of running past the taste injector at the end of the office, and what do you do?
So I stop sort of in line with the injector. I just turn around to face them, wait until they're all in the room, and then this huge shockwave comes out, blowing them back.
Okay. What's the... So you're doing a psionic, yeah?
Yeah, telekinesis.
Okay, how many points are you putting into it?
I'm going to put all 5 of them in, fuck it.
Okay, that's enough for, what is it, 25 kilograms? Or 250 kilograms?
It's 250.
Okay, so probably not quite enough to knock 3 agents over. 3 people, yes, but not 3 agents. So probably 2 of them will be impacted by that. How far does it push them?
Good question. I realise I need to do a roll for these every time to make sure it works.
Yeah, okay, let's do that first then. So, it's intelligence, isn't it? Plus 5 for your skill.
I think so, yes. Although I haven't got the book in front of me. Just passed.
Okay. We need to see the effectiveness of telekinesis, because off the top of my head, I don't actually know it. Page 71.
71.
Telekinesis. You can move a number of kilograms equal to in a manner at a speed of around 4 miles per hour. Each round you maintain control, you pay the TE cost again. You can only manipulate. So it's going to be very difficult to manipulate a person because it's incredibly slow. So telekinesis as a power moves things at 4 miles an hour. So it's not like a wave of Stranger Things. It's more of a. it's more of a. This thing slowly moves. The train.
Would I then be able to, rather than do a shockwave, could I use telekinesis almost to slow them down?
Yes,
to
you
almost
could
like a slow motion.
It's an open plan office. You could reposition desks and chairs and pile them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that because then at least it will cover more of them. And...
Yeah. Okay. You have a moment then where there's desks and chairs piled up. You hear explosions going off outside for whatever antics you've previously been involved in. And you have a moment. What do you do?
Are they coming in a sort of line, or are they?
They're the other end of the room and currently trying to pull tables off of a big pile.
Okay. I want to take the first one, and I'm going to hit him with Psi Assault.
You need line of sight for that. And at the moment, Jason's just put a big obstruction in between.
Yeah, the whole point was to buy time. I shout over and say, over here. They've got some kind of distribution going on here.
Well, what is it you found, old man? Are those things from the distribution warehouse?
Old man, I'm only 25. Jesus. And I look at the granules. Hey, you said granules, didn't you?
What's coming out is granules that are being packed into crates, and the address on the crates is the very centres where these jiffy bags are sent from.
Okay. So.
And then a clear label says for machine number 1.
Okay. I start ripping off all the labels in order to make it so they're not signed.
Or swap them over. See what that does.
Meanwhile,
machine 1 and machine 2 boxes.
A couple of grenades land at your feet.
It's time to leave.
So, says Harrington Smythe, did you ever figure out how the mind control worked?
It certainly involved urine. And lots of coffee.
Huge amounts of coffee.
Yes.
So, with everything you saw, you never figured out exactly how it worked?
It's certainly not the most conventional method of mind control I've seen in my time.
I've never really seen a form of mind control, that's why I'm curious. I just wondered if you'd figured out how they did it at all. Whilst you think about that for a moment, I'm kind of desperate for a wee-wee myself, and talking about urine isn't helping, so...
Actually, yeah, me too.
I shall be right back.
Okay. Pill! Pill!
Oh, hello.
Yeah. That crackling's definitely you this time.
Is it still doing it?
Not just now. It's doing it now.
What's that then? I'm not doing it.
Minute you move.
Better.
Think so. Welcome back.
Bonjour.
Hello. Right. Oh, our streaming is not. Well, it's quite low bandwidth, I think. I think it's struggling to keep up. Anyway. Right. So, has anybody figured out the mind control?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Not completely, no.
Okay.
Because they got these granules, haven't they? And they was throwing people in the machine as well.
The way I'm seeing it is they're combining sort of urine from previous people who've since sort of been ground into the coffee to help indoctrinate the new people, and then they're ground into it and blah blah. So basically lots of human flesh and fluid and stuff.
Yeah, so the clues you've got really are at the distribution centre. There was the room where you have to think certain thoughts, you go through a presentation, you urinate into the cup, that's sent off to head office. You're in head office right now. That goes through the taste injector, gets turned into granules and sent back to the distribution centre where they add some people and it comes out as brown sludge that people drink. So, it's very simple. No?
Might be too simple.
Only if you know the answer.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's only simple if you know the answer, as any good murder mystery writer will tell you.
I'm just toying with whether to give it you now. So, you say, oh.
That's okay, I can still hear you.
Okay. So you say that there was this room where you had to urinate into a cup thinking certain thoughts. And those thoughts included things like buy more Costa and welcome to the family.
Yes, there were 10 different programs. The people who were urinating seemed to be aware that there were different programs, and it sounded like at some point or another the program assigned to them might have changed.
Right. So, that then goes into the taste injector. We need to get ourselves one of these taste injectors. It's a shame Costa isn't there anymore. Yeah, I'm curious to know just what price Prince King asked when he rescued you. And you're drawn back to the scene where Mr. Pitch is playing his violin quite badly. And he finishes his song and he puts the violin back in the case. And you see on the case itself the logo of Stradivarius as he clips it back shut. And as he clips it shut, a missile comes through the window, crashing through the window, and hits the desk and explodes. You lose sight and hearing for a few moments, and when the dust settles, there's a gunship hovering by the window. Prince King is stood in in front of the smashed window. Mr. Pitch is nowhere to be seen at this particular moment in time, and you lie spread all over the floor, disconnected from the chains that were previously tying you to the seat. And Prince King speaks. I'm going to offer you a deal The deal is I rescue you and you do a job for me. Do you accept the price?
What are you doing here?
Rescuing you,
Jesus.
goddammit. Oh, hang on, he shouldn't have an American. Rescuing you, goddammit.
Well, that's
I've already done enough
decent.
work for your father, that's for sure.
That's awfully decent of you.
Yes.
No, it is not decent. He's trying to redeem himself for what's happened. You don't know our history.
One job.
Ah.
One job, old chap. That's all I ask.
Well, I'm sure I can help out an old school friend, yes.
If it involves me getting on your knees, then no.
And with that, I'm going to see if I can find small pieces of Mr. Pitch. Who I just realised the irony of a man called Mr. Pitch who seemed to have no sense of pitch when playing a Stradivarius. I find the irony of that name as I contemplate the fact that whatever Mr. King is, he's a rather ruthless critic. He's clearly...
All I'm going to say, old chums, is do you accept the price of the rescue? If not, I'll leave now.
Yes, I'll certainly help out an old school chum.
Go on,
I
Zix,
just-
boy.
I just
Let's-
give you the driest look possible. But I still reluctantly... I'm assuming there's like a ladder to about the helicopter.
No.
Come on, Xerxes, pull your finger out and get on this helicopter.
Or like put it in. Fuck.
Let's do it. Let's get in a helicopter.
So, right, so is the helicopter level with where we are? so to
It's a
say?
hovering gunship facing the now smashed window. It's got a
Okay.
pilot in and it's now banking away.
Right, okay. Okay. Fine.
The
Right.
men from Dashwoods, we say yes.
Good show. Good show. Right. Well, it seems the gunship is dodging some small arms fire. All right. We'll just make our way down on foot. Shouldn't be a problem. And
Excellent.
Prince King goes to open the door, and as he does so, Madame Two Swords is there. And zoom, with two ion katanas, takes a hack at Prince King, who dives out the way, only to be riddled in a hail of bullets a moments later from Mr. Pitch, who stood behind Madame Two Swords with a submachine gun. There you are, in the floor of the room, all over the place. Madame Two Swords is in the doorway. Behind her is Mr. Pitch.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Pitch, but I do realise that his critical review of your violin playing was a little harsh. But really, truly, that's how you answer your critics?
The death of Prince King has actually affected Xerxes a lot more than he thought. Obviously, you know, he grew to dislike him after the incident, but even so, the fact that he's now sort of riddled with bullets on the floor, it really kind of besets this anger in him. And he immediately takes out both of his black cougars and just sort of makes a sort of slightly shrill scream and just starts firing bullet after bullet at this Madame Two Swords.
Okay, let's have a bucket ton of dice rolls. I believe it's 6 from you. Whilst you're rolling dice,
Yes.
Augustus.
Yes, I'm going to follow suit actually and start firing. I mean, it's for the honour of the school. You can't just let a chap down like that. That's terrible.
Okay, so you make some dice rolls as well. Meanwhile, so just struggle to remember your character name for a moment there. Lord Percival Chamberlain, yes.
Lord Percival Chamberlain.
Gives a speech at Mr. Pitch.
Yes.
Mr. Pitch does not seem particularly interested in your sarcasm. And he continues to spray his submachine gun into the room.
You don't want to. You don't want to pull. You don't want to pull the trigger. You want to put a caffeine IVF in me. You want to look me in the eye and see what's going on in there when you turn it up.
Augustus, you take 7 points of damage from the bullets coming from Mr. Pitch's submachine gun. Meanwhile, Madame Two Swords enters the room with her 2 ion katanas. Well, I see you're just too much trouble to keep around. I don't think I'll wait for the tape. We'll just end you now.
Fuck it, I'm shooting at her. No, in fact, no. I'm going to hit her with Psi Assault, because she's definitely in my line of sight now.
Right, let's just see what the attacks were from the others.
Yeah, so all of mine were hits. I did get a couple of a 2 and a 1, but not like a 2, 2 and a 1, 1, so I'm assuming that doesn't count as a crit. It's just a really good roll.
Yeah.
Okay, and total damage, because I'm using a thingy roll, because seriously I've only got 2d8, is 38 in total.
Okay. And that was on Madame Two Swords, yeah?
Yeah.
And Phil?
I got 1 hit. Or how many do you get 3, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, right, 3.
With the Black Cougar, yes.
Okay, no, I've got all 3 hits then.
Okay.
Total of 6 damage.
6.
Yes. Not very good rolling.
Okay. It's clear that Madame Two Swords had a shield. However, it's also clear it's taken a lot of damage very quickly, as Xerxes puts 6 bullets straight into her and then 3 from Augustus. It's taken a pounding. Next round, I think what we'll do in this instance is initiative, because at this point things will start going down.
That's D10
Wow, that was
plus
a clever roll.
reflexes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Reflexes, perception.
Shh.
Is it? What is it? It's D10 plus
plus your reflexes.
reflexes. Okay.
8 for me.
13.
And Jason?
Yeah, I've already put it in a 10.
Okay, so first to act is Madame Two Swords. She approaches the person who's just put 6 bullets into her. And do you have close combat training with your pistols?
No, I just have a dual fighting.
Okay, that is 2 hits with an iron katana, and I need to look up how much damage that is because I don't actually know.
I'm not sure I'm going off the top of my head.
No, I think it's like 2d4 plus
It's
thingamabobby.
quite a lot.
Katana.
Oh, question. Are our conviction points back up or no?
No. It's
No,
for the
I didn't think so.
storyline.
Cool.
God damn it, this should be on this page, but it doesn't actually, it just lists a katana, not... Oh, it's the thing that's a little bit annoying is all the, like, the adverts for the weapons, so finding them can be tricky. So, okay, I will go for, I'm just going to decide what it is for now, as this, which is quite a lot.
It is Madame Two Swords. They are proper Elizabethanite katanas.
37 wounds.
Okay, that exceeds my total amount.
Okay, so you actually drop for the moment.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Next in initiative is Lord Percival,
Yep.
and you're going to try and psionic blast her. So deduct
Yes,
your side points. Are you going to do any of the like maxing out and stuff like that?
You know what? Yeah. How does that all work again?
Okay. Right.
I think I've got the
You
points
can
to pull
force
this
the
particular
power.
shit off.
Spend the T. So how many telepathic points are you putting into it? It's up to your skill.
I'm going to go the whole 5.
Okay. If you want to do it without a roll, that's an additional 5. If you want another action, that's an additional 5, so that you could shoot as well. And if you want to maximise the damage, that's an additional 5.
So what do I have to roll? Is that just the damage?
Rolling to do it is intelligence plus your skill, so 5.
Right.
So if you want to
so
not roll,
if I spend 15,
you could do it automatically at max damage.
automatically with max damage.
If you spend 20, you could shoot her as well.
I'll go with the 15.
Okay.
I'll do 15. I'll spend 15 points and I'll do 30 damage to her.
Okay. That of course bypasses her shield, and so her face all crinkles up, her veins all look really, really prominent very suddenly. Her powdered white face now looks quite disfigured and ugly. She yelps in pain, and yeah, sorry, I'm seeing what you're saying on the iron katana. It's fine. No, it's fine. She does extra damage because she's special. Yeah, she looks in horrendous pain, and it's Mr. Pitch's turn, and he continues to shoot with his submachine gun, and he continues to aim at the person who disfigured him, like he's been waiting for this moment for a very long time.
Less than 2 weeks is the last session.
Oh. And he did 1 damage.
Clearly
Clearly
he's
sometimes too.
clearly he's gone. Clearly he's going for the death by 1,000 cuts route.
Yeah, apparently so. Then it would have been Cersei's, and then Augustus.
So Augustus is going to take another shot
Okay, who at?
at Madame Two Swords,
Okay.
and that is 2 hits.
Okay, 2d8 damage. Could you give them individually in order, please? Because it matters.
Okay. 6, 7, 6.
I thought it was 2 hits. That's 3.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. 6 and 7.
Okay. The first bullet does indeed power down her shield. You see it kind of just bounce off, and then the shield fades away from view as the second bullet goes through right between her eyes. And her eyes roll up into the back of her head, and she collapses backwards. Mr. Pitch, you are sure, would start screaming if he had any voice left. Lord Percival.
Yes. Is he worth it? I think he is. I think he's worth the other. I think he's worth a 15-pointer.
So you're going to put 30 damage into him.
Yeah.
Okay. It's then his go. He's gonna. He's just going balls to the wall. I'm going to kill this Augustus guy that has taken my face and my voice. He does indeed hit, and God damn it! 3 damage.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Balls to the wall.
Rolling like me.
Yeah, it clearly this is the Mr. Pitch is not going by the death by 1,000 cuts so much as the death by 1,000,000 paper cuts.
Xerxes is down. Augustus.
I'm gonna switch my aim.
Bear with me. Sorry. Actually, Xerxes, last turn when you were down, you still have your intravenous med pack, don't you? Or have you used it?
I believe that... Yes, I do.
Okay. It's now used. You'd have got 10 hit points back. Does that put you back into positive?
The damage was it 38 or 37?
Something like that.
Okay. Then well, yes, it would, because intravenous med pack. How much? So 10 health back.
10.
Yes,
so this
okay.
turn, you'd regain consciousness. You'll be on the floor and in quite a lot of pain. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah. I think so. So yeah, I'm back on 16 hit points. So at this point, presumably, it's just Mr. Pitch left.
Can't be
is
on
it?
16 hit points. You only just gained 10.
Oh, beg your pardon.
You were on
6.
negative.
Right.
Yes.
What am I talking about? Okay. Yes. So it's just Mr. Pitch that's left. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I think in proper corporation style, I'm going to start sort of swaggering up to him, get out my AMS Kebos shotgun, and blow a hole in him.
Okay. Make your roll.
Ooh. I do believe the motherfucker's going down.
Oh, and I fail by 5. Of course, I'd throw badly then, didn't I?
Next turn.
Augustus.
Okay, I'm gonna swing my gun around to bring it to bear on Mr. Pitch, and I'm gonna give him 3 shots, which 2 hit again, and they are that's a 3 and an 8.
3 and an 8. Well, the second one does indeed put him down, and his previously pristine white suit is now riddled in red patches as he collapses to the ground. At that moment, as the fight ends, you see that Madame Tussauds' head has unscrewed itself, and a small metallic object with multiple legs has scuttled out of her head and is running away down a corridor.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, I must say that's quite strange.
Well, don't just look at it, you idiots. Fucking kill it.
You empty a significant amount of ammunition into this tiny little robot as it scurries off, until it vanishes from view. Meanwhile, the gunship is apparently taking considerable amounts of fire from rocket launchers and small arms and all sorts of stuff going on. There are explosions everywhere as it fires streams of rockets and missiles at stuff attacking it and things, just big bangs everywhere. And you start making your way out of Costa HQ. Let's go forward in time now, to a time, quite a long time in the future, when you're on Vastak for some reason. That's the the EI constructed a planet in space, and you know it's kind of like a, imagine in Star Wars if the Death Star was built for pleasure rather than killing planets. That's Vastak. Right?
Where else?
It has oceans in this artificial pleasure islands chain type place, and at the bottom of one of the oceans are you three gagged and tied up in an air bubble at the bottom of the ocean. In front of you is a mermaid who says, "You won't escape me like you did Costa Coffee."
What the fuck?
Now, We here at Starbucks are well aware of you and how you work. There's no way you're getting away from us.
So Starbucks isn't run by mer people. Okay.
There's something not half fishy about this.
You go back in time a little bit now, to the time when you're talking to Harrington Smythe. Well, clearly I can't bloody trust you with America, so I'm going to send you to the only place where you can't possibly do more damage to our reputation. I'm sending you to Vastag. You'll take 3 crates of tea, and this time, you will sell Dashwood's export to the bloody tourists. You will not sell Dashwood's exports to anybody doing imports and bloody exports. Off you bloody go.
Oh, this should be easy. They're just tourists. They'll eat anything or drink anything.
And so, you arrive in Vastag. And you go through, or you arrive in the customs queue with your 3 crates of tea, you're each holding a crate because you've not got a vehicle to get there. You know, you go up on a shuttle and stuff, and so you're having to carry your crates of tea. And the hairs on the back of your neck kind of start to stick out as you realise you are being tailed by somebody you've seen before. Some Western Federation agents that saw you leaving that independent cafe. He must be tailing you, because why else? What are the odds of him being in the same place at the same time as you now? Presumably another 3 Western Federation agents are around somewhere.
Either that or he's desperate for some tea.
I actually try and talk to him on the Smeeker and say, you're rather heavily dressed for Vastag.
He's in his usual camo suit, or the one you see is in his usual camo suit. Arguably, for a Western Federation agent, it's very lightly dressed because he doesn't appear to have any weapons. After all, you're about to go through customs. This is EI territory.
Oh, okay. In that case, I would say something like, we know that you're following us again.
Okay, so you broadcast that to as many channels as you can without any encryption, hoping he'll pick it up. And what do you know? He realises you think he's heard you because you see him start to look around nervously like he's looking for somewhere to hide. And then he kind of looks directly at you.
I say to him in the Smeeker, come on, it's really obvious. What is it that you want?
I'm just here as a tourist, sir.
Don't you own any other clothes? Maybe a nice suit, tie?
This is a nice
Beachwear?
suit and tie.
That is not a suit.
This is a suit. I have tree bark pattern, I have oak tree pattern, I have fir tree pattern, I have desperate streets, I have plain streets, I have dirty streets. I got so many damn camo suits.
But you're here. You're here on holiday, you say, or vacation, as I believe you Yanks call it.
And that's no reason to lower my standards and start dressing like an EI.
But where's your beachwear?
Point is, whether you're on vacation, holiday, or whatever, why are you following us?
I'm not following you. I'm just on holiday.
Well, you look mighty nervous. Maybe you should go and relax.
Yes. Where are you off to then? If you're not following us.
I hear that the beach parties here are amazing. You know.
You do know that the locals have a tradition here.
I don't think he knows they have a tradition.
If you go into any local taverna and you buy the entire taverna, the first round when you enter, they buy you all your drinks for the remainder of the evening.
What? I buy a tavern and then they will give me
No,
drinks for
you
evening?
you buy all the people inside the tavern a round of drinks. It's your way of saying thank you for having me, and then as a sign of gratitude for your hospitality, they ply you with drinks for the rest of the evening. It works
You
out
see him
incredibly cheaply.
Take his sneaker off. And,
Oh, you've all frozen.
Oh, we all...
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Right, he rips his sneaker off and he waits in the customs queue. And he's shaking his
Okay.
head.
I say to Percival, I don't think he really knows what hospitality is. So what I
Such a damn
do
shame.
is I say to the others, he might be on holiday, but remember we still have a job to do.
Indeed.
Oh, certainly.
I don't see any reason why we can't shoot him if he starts following us again.
Yes.
It would be
Actually, it's happened
helpful.
when you're travelling.
It would be good target practice.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially in his fur camo thing.
Okay, at that moment, I'm just going to take a very short break while I get a drink and stuff. So, sorry for doing 2 breaks, but I need water. Also, I need to think what's next. So, I'll BRB.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm prepping stuff for Free RPG Day. Saturday the 16th of June. I've already decided what the adventure is. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to run it, but
What's the
it's
studio
gonna.
name?
It's Savage Worlds. I've bought a whole load of maps and stuff from Drive-Thru, and one of them is a thing called Hell's Station, which is a mining. It's one of those mining colonies on a really hazardous planet. Hence the Hell Station thing. You know, really inhospitable, terrible environment. You don't go out but die. And it's got the sort of maps of a sort of mining colony. For a mining station, and I like the idea of using that and maybe making hell a bit more literal. That maybe the drill bit finds a bit more than a deposit of ore. It finds a gateway, and they're going to spend 4 hours running for it, which they can't really do because there's a hostile environment out there and they'll die. So they're just going to have to hold up and hope to God the ship that's meant to be taking them off arrives in time.
Sounds quite good.
That's the basis. I've got to flesh it out, but that's the basics. But it's kind of interesting because a few people have said, yeah, I'll bring my game, and I'll bring my game, and I'll bring my game. No one's actually said I'm bringing D&D yet. So far we got Savage Worlds, we've got Pathfinder. Someone's talking about bringing in 13th Age. And someone's talking about bringing in a system which I haven't heard of, actually, called One Dice.
Not yet.
No, I've not heard of that one either.
If you want to.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very. Oh, hello.
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 Just waiting for Jason to get back.
Yes. Dun 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 dun. Fucking pigeons!
Pigeons?
I have the flat I've got my window is a bay window, and it's got a small roof on top of the bay window, and the pigeons have started to flock there as their nightly place to sleep. And there's about 50 of them trying to get on a space that will only hold 5. So it's a constant fucking fight, and all you can hear is bloody. Feet scratching, trying to stay on the damn roof, because it's a slanted one.
As you get through passport control, you begin to see all the advertisements and stuff of businesses trying to encourage you to go to their part of Vastag. And you notice something that's common across all of the locational adverts in Vastag. Come to Siberia City. New vendor, Starbucks. Come to Decadence. New vendor, Starbucks. Come to Euphorian Heights. New vendor, Starbucks. Come to the City of Dreams. New vendor, Starbucks. It seems Starbucks is doing quite well here. Has opened up a lot of new branches.
Yeah.
So there's a number of places you can go in Vastag. I don't know how familiar with it you are. If you imagine Eurasian Incorporated building a tourist resort, if you're looking for it, babe, it's page 186.
Let's see.
You've got every kind of holiday destination you could possibly hope for. So is there, everything from the Mars in the original Total Recall to beach paradises to sprawling cities and stuff. So what kind of location would you like?
Well, presumably we would have picked up some kind of touristy, leaflety guide.
Yeah, sure.
Because certainly out of character, I'm a bit familiar with each of them. So I believe Siberia is the one where you basically just self-indulge, and it's the really poor people who want to get drunk and spend all their money on that kind of thing. But then there's Cerulia and Isla Viva, where they're very natural, but they're developed. So I believe it's very kind of sort of retreatable. So tea might work there.
In Isla Viva, there are a few select ranch hotels located around the island for paying guests. No weapons are allowed on Isla Viva.
What about things like, because you did say New Eurasia as well, isn't that where there's the theme park, or is that somewhere else?
Ooh, couldn't say, but if you want to set up in a theme park, there's bound to be one here somewhere, so yeah, we can say
okay, well,
Eurasia.
We'll say in Eurasia, there is the Illustra Hotel, which is the most expensive hotel in the universe.
That's the sort of place we're looking
for.
Yeah.
So is that what you're going to go for, yeah?
I see. Simply because you'll sort of know the area just more. I'm looking at Land of Worlds at an odd angle.
Okay.
That is the theme park, I believe.
Because the two places marked there are City of Dreams and Anastasia. It just sounds great. It's probably a crap place, but it sounds nice. No, this really expensive hotel sounds like a winner.
They want the most expensive tea, don't they?
Yes.
Accommodation rates vary from 5,000 to 100,000 credits a night.
Okay, so we brought the sleeping bags. So we can sleep outside.
Well, surely we can just go and sell during the day. It is tea after all, it is caffeinated.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the plan then, to head to Europa and the what's it called, the Illustra Hotel. Okay. So just so you're aware, this is a place where the sky is truly the limit. Security here is incredible, with no reported cases of intruders to date. The Illustra is run by some woman who can second guess the inner desires of a customer before they open their mouths.
Gosh.
So, is that where you are headed? You arrive.
I think so.
You arrive, and if you've ever watched Firefly's episode The Shindig, you get that moment where you see that chandelier. I mean, I see how they did it. I just don't get why. As you walk into an incredibly grand foyer beyond anything you've ever witnessed in your life, you get the impression that your very expensive suits are not expensive enough here. As you enter, you are met by a woman who looks about 30, 32, something like that, brunette hair, clipped, very professional ponytail, impeccable suit, and you notice that it has gold thread holding the trim together. The suit itself is very shiny, goldy in colour. Welcome to the Illustra. I think you're here to make money. I'm terribly sorry, but the Dashwood shop has just closed. It's been bought out by Starbucks. However, we might have some Dashwoods out back for customers such as yourselves, but I think you're here to sell Dashwoods, and I'm very sorry. That's one thing here that we have excess stock of.
Well, we do have a new brand of Dashwoods. The Dashwoods Export. It's particularly aimed at your class of clientele.
I see. We could try a sampler stall, perhaps, with the breakfast bar, maybe. See how it goes down.
I think so.
Yes,
You'll need to
indeed.
dress smarter than that, though.
That's absolutely fine. We can get that arranged. The crux of our new flavour is exactly the same as regular Dashwoods, except more expensive.
I see.
So you've got all that tradition.
I don't know how that'll go down with the current clientele. You're more than welcome to try come the morning. Just come back with suits that are, shall we say, at least 3,000 credits. Because those are a little too shabby. if I'm
Well,
honest.
these are just our travelling attire, obviously.
Understandable. So, Good luck. You'll have
Thank
stiff competition.
With this Starbucks.
It's all the rage, it seems.
Yes. I have noticed, I am rather a student of history, and I have noticed one unassailable and irrefutable truth. Tastes change.
Yes. They've just
And
changed to
sometimes-
Starbucks.
Yes. And
they're
sometimes they come back.
I wish you luck. I'll see you in the morning.
Thank you
You
very
certainly will, yes. I'm going to have a little look at our quote-unquote competition.
In the foyer is an area designated as clearly being rented by Starbucks. It is a huge coffee bar and it looks cheap and shit. And you can't believe it's in here. Everything's crappy plastic, the floor's not even clean, the staff aren't paying any attention, the prices are exorbitant. They're charging more than Dashwood's.
Wow.
You should put a price up.
My God.
We should
I-
definitely put our price up.
I'm suddenly reminded of an old advert that said, "Beware of expensive imitations."
What sort of accents can we hear in there? What predominantly sort of people are going in there?
Well, they have a lot of customers in there at the moment. And you can even tell the people that have been in there recently because all the customers in Starbucks have bloodshot eyes and are buzzing on caffeine. And that's true of a number of other people walking around as well.
You don't think Starbucks has some kind of program, do they, as well?
Well, it seems very suspicious that they're able to be so popular and not put that much effort into actually selling the stuff.
Yeah, one of the people working in Starbucks looks like about 14, covered in acne, and is not even paying attention. They're spilling the coffee as they serve it, sometimes spilling it onto the customers, and they don't seem to care, they're just lapping it up.
It's obviously something in the coffee.
My
Yes.
God, and I thought the Costa situation was bad. This may even trump it.
Yes, yes. But if they are drugging the customers, that's going to give them a really unfair advantage.
I should mention though, this is a new story module, so you've got your convictions back.
Ooh,
Yay.
Okay. Because of me. 2 conviction points. Okay, so why don't we use one of those conviction points and say perhaps we did some research after our endeavours with Costa into any other large companies such as Starbucks to see if there is anything fishy in the records about them, any sort of scandalous stories.
None at all. I mean, in America, after the incident at Costa, Costa's stock started to fall, so Starbucks started to recover. They hadn't been doing that well. They weren't that big outside of America. They'd lost a lot of popularity, and Costa was sort of on the ascendant. Since the incident with Costa, Starbucks is doing well again. But what's been going up here on Vastag, your obviously all these Starbucks are new. This is a very sudden expansion for them.
In fact, I just had a thought. Prince King is now dead. Would I, because
No.
it's probably, what do you mean no? You know what I'm going to say yet?
Prince King is not dead.
Okay, he's not there. Right, so I found that word then. In that case,
sorry, the non-linear storytelling has messed up. I was going to reveal that at some other point, but at this point you're in the future. He spent a long time in hospital.
okay, so it can still work with the conviction point. I've just thought of something, you know, a bit better, because if there's not really anything scandalous in the newspapers, will we be able to use a conviction point to obtain Snazzy suits from somewhere like Prince King, if he is alive?
Well, I don't know if Prince King would give you them at the moment. You can certainly... There's quite a huge favour to, like, 9,000 credits. So it's going to be a debt you'll owe someone.
Well, he never mentioned...
If Augustus is willing to spend a conviction point...
I would spend a conviction point as well.
Okay. There's certainly people... Your Uncle Oscar could loan you 9k.
Yeah, I mean, I could spend a conviction point.
Ling Li would owe you... would let you owe him 9k.
Or, yeah. Because obviously... Or I wonder if I could ask... what's that
I don't
called?
have anyone on your
Friendly Housing?
family tree, Xerxes, for... That looks like they'd give you 9k.
Okay.
Or for Friendly Harrington Smythe to put pressure on his father.
Ling Li, I'll give you Ling Li, Augustus, if you're going to do it, and if Ronnie's going to do it, I'll give you Uncle Oscar.
I'll go for Ling Li.
Okay?
Yeah.
In fact, we could pool our resources rather than both of us going. Rather than one of us going for 9, why don't each of us go for 4.5?
Because that'll be a conviction point each.
Yeah.
One deck gives me all the ammunition I need. Okay, so yeah, you when you found out you were going here and you'd made your plans to go to the whatever it was called, the Illustrious or something, the Illustra. You contacted your friend Ling Li, who's the CEO of Asian Cyberlins, and asked if he could just sub you for a little bit of cash for a business venture. He of course will expect, he considers it a 10k loan and gives you 9k.
Okay.
Okay.
No, not okay, 10k.
Oh, that's awfully decent of you, old chap.
And so yes, you have sufficient funds for a decent suit.
In complete 80s style, obviously.
Let's say fashion has moved on. Let's say the fashion now is bioluminescent green.
Ha.
Oh no, that means my pink anodized gun's out of fashion.
Yeah, totally. You don't want to be seen dead holding that now.
I mean, everyone that sees it, I'm gonna have to kill.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So you have your snazzy suits.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to do before the morning session, as it were, in order to prepare for this?
Get the get the things like the doilies and the
Yeah.
tablecloth laundered properly and starched.
Make sure I've got a couple of good clips for the gun.
Polish the silverware.
You won't have guns in this location, just so you're aware. Any weapons you have, you cannot take to this location. Allow me to reread it. Security here is incredible, with no reported cases of intruders to date. You can try it, but I'll make you roleplay it.
No. I've got a feeling I'm not quite at my peak tonight, and I've got a feeling I might actually screw that one up. Just a tad.
Yeah. So basically, any weapons. The only weapon you're going to be getting in with is telepathics.
Yeah.
And even then, they had best be licensed.
Yeah, I'm licensed.
Yeah.
I'm always licensed.
Okay. So, come the breakfast session at the Illustra is an exquisite dining room. You are allowed to set up just outside of what they're calling the breakfast bar. And you set up a lovely little seating area. You've got really nice chairs and stuff, and it's absolutely exquisite. You've got the best crockery. You of course have got the proper tea serving bowls and the little bottling jugs and thing, and you've got your stopwatches to make sure it is 6 minutes exactly, and you've got the temperature of the crockery set exactly right to boil and exactly the perfect amount.
Yep.
And you've got an entire box of paper wrapped digestives, and and it's all set up perfectly. And opposite you is a table. Looks like it's a pasting table for decorating the house, covered in spats of paint. On it are stacks and stacks of paper cups with the Starbucks logo emblazoned on it. Manning this table is one young girl who's barely even awake. Her hair's a mess. Behind her, she's got one of those, or two rather, a table with two of those big water things, and she's got a bag just loose on the table of coffee granules and several dirty teaspoons. And as people start to arrive, they start going to the Starbucks.
Okay, I think we should divide and conquer. I will attempt to bring the lovely people over to our table. Xerxes, or you, my good man, could one of you distract the young lady while the other one does a fair amount of redesigning of various items on that table?
I was wondering if you could set those paper cups alight.
I like your ideas for for interior decorating, sir.
You would think, presumably, what's in this damn coffee should surely be flammable.
We are going to make the mother of Molotov cocktails.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you do to this poor teenage girl?
I'm going to sort of whip out a pipe and sort of like suck on the pipe to get the tobacco really hot, and then sort of tap it out against the table, making sure some of it goes over the cups, and try and set the cups alight.
Okay. The cups, being largely plastic, don't set alight.
I thought it was paper.
Yes, but that horrible plastic coated thing they have.
Yeah.
And it just makes them quite dirty. She grunts at you and carries on, just ignoring the fact that there's tobacco over some of the cups. In fact, she picks one of them up with the tobacco on it, doesn't even brush it off, and puts water into it. Oh, and then remembers to put the granule of coffee in, teaspoon of coffee with the dirty teaspoon, gives it a quick stir, throws it at a customer. Some of the water spills onto the customer's lovely morning gown. Fantastic! I haven't been treated this badly in ages. Here, have a tip. And hands over 150 credits.
Treated badly?
For the love of God. They've not only lost their sense of taste, but their sense of scruples and common decency and self-worth as well. It's enough to make you cry.
You see Xerxes just sort of do that a bit because he's literally crying at the sort of sheer horrendousness of the situation.
I'm not sure if some of these people deserve any Dashwoods.
They may not deserve it, but we don't deserve a bullet in the head that we'll get if we don't get to sell this damn thing. So,
that's very true.
Deserving or not, we gotta sell this fucking stuff.
I'm gonna glance at the bottom of that sort of pasting table that they're setting up. Are there wheels on it?
No, it looks quite flimsy though.
Okay. Surely, if we can dismantle the table, knock everything over, she won't even be able to make the coffee.
Okay, so the pasting there's two tables. The pasting table is the one she's serving customers on. That is very flimsy. The one behind her that's got the hot urns on, that by necessity is just a bit more sturdy. It looks like an office desk, actually. A repurposed office desk. In fact, yeah, it'll even have one of those like boards behind it as a kind of backing thing, where it's clearly been used in it as cheap office furniture. It looks like it's not even IKEA.
Are they queuing up for this?
Yes.
Xerxes.
Yes.
Xerxes, my dear fellow. I was wondering, as a young man, did you ever play with dominoes? Did you ever do that thing where you lined up a whole load of dominoes together and then you would knock one over and you would see all the dominoes fall over in a nice big line?
I see what you're saying here. No, but if you want me to attempt that,
I think it would be very interesting if we could take this nice queue of people and turn them into great big dominoes.
However,
basically, I want to see a domino rally go right into the table.
We still need to sell this tea, however, and knocking them over, they'll think it's a wonderful thing. How about, and I'm sorry to do this, gentlemen, as I know it is going very much against the Dashwoods way. My idea was to actually, with the tea being prepared, actually use my telekinesis to lift a small bit of liquid and throw it at someone's face so they get it gets all over them, they could smell it. So I know
you want to entice them by splashing Dashwoods in their face.
Indeed, because they seem to love being splashed with the Starbucks coffee.
We could, but one of us pretend to be walk around the block, pretend to be a customer coming back, and try to buy some tea, and then very loudly by YouTube get sent off with a flea in his ear because he's not posh enough to have any. Go and drink Starbucks. You can't have Dashwoods.
Oh.
Would you sell to me?
Would you tell me? No, I'm not selling to you. Look at you. Got the wrong colour suit on. You're not good enough for Dashwoods. Sold off to buy coffee.
And that's what you're going to try, is it?
I do have some experience in performance.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
That will piss the hell out of them.
Right. So, who's going to be the server in this case, and who's going to be the customer?
I can always be the one trying to buy the tea.
And who's going to be the server?
I'll do the serving.
Okay.
Could both people involved make a presence plus lying at an acting roll? And tell me your excess.
Presence plus.
I haven't got lying and acting, but I do have attitude.
Yeah, but that's not what I asked for.
No, I know it's something I thought. I'm just saying. So, it's just going to be presence. It's okay. Oh my god, I passed! Holy fuck. Woo! Okay.
I didn't.
Okay, what are your excesses?
I passed equally. So no excess.
What is my... where is it? That's it. Where is... lying and... Oh, there we are. 15, so I've missed by 9.
Okay. Ronnie, you're very quickly aware that Augustus has gone over the top acting. Like, is just flailing arms around like a stereotype Italian waiter. It's just like, that's just throwing the scene. What do you do?
Augustus, yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. Yes. Yes. Truly, yes. Truly, it just brings out the wild in you.
You cannot serve this man tea. Look at him.
Can I help you, sir?
Frozen and rigid.
Can I help you, sir? I now say to Xerxes, can I help you, sir?
I want to buy some of your tea. I want a bit of variety.
Augustus, Lord Percival has stepped in and is interfering with your plan. He's going to blow it. What do you do?
You cannot sell this man tea. He's just an
Augustus gives a wooden performance over the top, shouting over Lord Percival. Let's have a presence plus lying and acting roll from Lord Percival as well. Because of the presence of Augustus in this situation and how badly he's done, you will need an excess of at least 8 to salvage the scene.
Oh shit! What's this? Presence plus
lying and acting.
I'm just trying to work. Yeah, right. So I need less than that.
Oh,
right. The answer is no. I didn't even make my normal roll.
How much did you fail by?
Including, right. The total I have, usually in my skill, is 13.
Mm-hmm. And you rolled?
I rolled 15.
Okay, so fail by 10. So, Xerxes, what you are faced with is 2 really wooden, badly acted characters. It's like a scene from a horrendous, unscripted comedy with no jokes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Customers at Starbucks are tutting you.
Me personally?
The performance that you guys have put on. Come the end of breakfast, you have sold no tea. Just like all the customers, it doesn't take long for everyone to get in. When, what was her name? Oh yes. Helena Ryman comes up to you again and says, "Gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry, but we had a number of complaints. Apparently you made something of a scene, so I'm going to have to ask that you don't return to the Illustra Hotel. So there's just a small matter of your pitch fee for this morning of 400 credits."
Cheaper than I expected. And I just hand over 400 credits and storm out.
Well, that was a disaster.
Yes, it was.
Jesus Christ, you two.
Bad roll. Bad roll.
I didn't even have lying and acting and I still passed that roll.
It's awful, isn't it?
I just love the person that had lying and acting was left sidelined, and then when he did roll, he failed.
I failed. I mean, I was hoping that I could maybe roll really low, because I had 5 to play with. If I could have rolled, 5 or less, I would have done it with. It would have been enough, but my dice decided no.
Would it be worth getting a cup of this Starbucks and getting it analysed?
Would you like to purchase one before you leave?
I'd not like to be seen purchasing one.
That's not easily possible.
I'm sure we can get a Starbucks pretty much anywhere at this rate.
Yeah.
So why don't we get it from some stall somewhere?
Okay. And with that sorry scene, I'm just going to ask, do you want to carry on and start a new scene, or it's like 10:20, so I don't know if anybody's up early in the morning or not. What time do you start, babe?
I'm back at 10.
Okay. So, yeah, 9.
Yeah, it's feeling like a good place.
Yeah. So,
the only way is up.
Yeah, the rolls aren't working tonight.
hanging your heads in shame.
Yeah.
You leave the Illustra Hotel, and if ever you do try to return, you'll find the doorman know your face. Helena Ryman certainly will.
It was a good plan.
Where everybody knows your name.
It was a good plan. It relied on dice rolls, unfortunately.
It was a very good plan.
What are you trying to say?
It's a very good plan that, yeah. Ouch.
Are we still broadcasting? We're not, are we?
We are broadcasting at the moment because I was just making my session notes, and then I'm just going to say goodbye to the stream. Thank you very much for watching. If you did watch this far, it is a somewhat ridiculous adventure. Selling tea. We've moved on from America. We're now selling tea on an inflatable homemade planet. So bye for now.